everybody, it's Philly from Create and Curate here. Today we're going to be making a Christmas dress. Okay, so today we're going to be making a Christmas dress for my 6-year-old. I know, she gets a lot of dresses and she gets a lot of outfits, but it's because she's the only one that doesn't complain. And doesn't yet have any sense of personal style and doesn't mind when mummy makes her things and they're a little bit skewy or they're a little bit wonky. The others are like, thanks, and then it goes in the back of their cupboard, whereas the 6-year-old is like, oh, my mum made it, so I must always wear it. So that's why she gets so many things, not because she's my favourite. So I am making a dress out of this fabric today. You might remember that I got this when we did the Trago shopping haul, or the fabric haul rather, and she loves dogs, so I thought that the Dachshunds with the little reindeers was really cute, and also not too like cliche Christmassy, because I think she's got quite a lot of cliche Christmassy stuff, so something a little bit more understated might be quite nice. The other thing that I'm using is a sewing pattern from Life So Savoury. It's called the Sweet Rosa, or maybe the Sweet Little Rosa, Little Sweet Rosa, a combination of those 3 words put into a sentence, and it's a really nice sort of smock style dress. It's long sleeve, it's got elasticated wrists, and it's got a nice gathered skirt at the bottom and then some little buttons at the back. It's going to be really cute. Come along and watch me do it. And before I forget, I am wearing the K9139 Simplicity one today. Ta-da! With a long sleeve turtleneck underneath because it is cold. I have 2 backs, 1 front, a neck facing, which if you ask me doesn't look right, so we'll work with that for now, but I've got spares to cut if I need to. 2 sleeves and a skirt. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is sew the shoulders together. So I have the front piece laid out flat, and then I am going to attach 1 back piece and 2 back pieces just on the shoulders, and then we're going to put the neck facing round. So here's what it will look like once you've done the shoulders, and then we're going to, oh no, we're not going to flip it over, we're going to keep it forward, and we're going to attach the neckline around the edge. So in the instructions, we need to fold this over and pin it down. And then do the same with the other side. And then pin in the neck facing so that the neck facing butts up to the edge. I might just give this a quick zigzag round the outside of it before I pin it down properly. So it should just go over the top there like that. Okay, does that make sense? So that should be the right size for it to go round nicely. It does look too big. I might have to give that a trim. Okay, so it does say to just trim the excess if it's too long. So we are going to sew or pin this along and then trim the ends once we're done. Problem is, it's not the same shape as it is, so we're just going to have to utilise the best of our abilities to put it into the right crevices. As you can see, I've just zigzagged the edge rather, to get it to match up to have a nicer finish so it doesn't fray on the ends. That's something that I recommend on the instructions as well, rather than putting some interfacing on it, which is optional as well. Would have helped if I'd have clipped it a little bit neater, but that's okay because we can work it out as we go round. Now it's important to go over the top of this folded bit because it's all got to tuck inside itself in a minute. It will become clear when we come back to turning it around. So I'm just going to trim that end bit off. Oh, where's my fabric scissors? They've run off. So I'm going to give that a trim and give that side a trim, just snipped it. Fantastic. So we're going to sew around, and then, now covering that bit up, we're going to sew down the edge here as well and this edge too, but we've got to stay really close to the edge so that we can fold it inside out. I have sewn round all of the facing. I'm going to take the pins out and turn it the right way round. I will come back and snip around the edges as soon as I find my fabric scissors. So snipping round here and then chopping the corners just a little bit to make them nice and sharp. But for now, I will just show you what it's going to look like and then give you the next step. So what we're going to do is we're going to fold it all over and fold it out, and then I'm going to give it a good press, and then I'm going to top stitch all of this, she says. There we go. So top stitching all around once I've pressed it to make it all neat and tidy. So here we have it, the neckline is finished. We are going to be putting buttonholes and buttons down this side, but for now we are moving on to sleeves. Let me get them out and get them ready. So we have two sleeves, obviously top, bottom. This is a gathered sleeve, so what we need to do now is to make a tube for the elastic to go into, and then we need to do that ×2, pop the elastic in. I'm going to go and get a Tiddly one in a minute and just measure her wrists to see how much elastic we need, and then I will come back and tell you once I've sewn this up and found out how much elastic she needs. Right, elastics made in for the sleeves. The instructions said to just zigzag the edge and then turn it over, just for ease, and also I imagine because it doesn't have enough to do double over, which is what I would normally do. I have measured Tiddly one's wrist and it's about 6 inches, so I'm going to cut 7 just to, because it's just sort of to close it in really. So that'll come to that much. Oh, pen. So if I cut 7, and by the time I've put it together as well, it will probably be smaller. Oh no, where's the end gone again? So I'm going to need 2 of these, one for each wrist. Okay, 7 and 7. And then I'm going to get my trusty safety pin, stick it on the end and feed it through. Making sure not to pull it all the way out the end. Depending on your method, you can stick a pin in the end of the elastic. You can put another safety pin at the bottom to make sure it doesn't pull through. Or, like me, you can be an absolute maverick and just pray for the best. There we go. See, easy peasy. So now what I'm going to do is to sew that into this end here, and then sew that one into there. So I'm just going to do a couple of like basting stitches across to keep the elastic in place. I'm going to do that twice. Okay, we have 2 sleeves with elasticated wrists. There's one, and there's the other. Ta-da! So that's what it's going to look like from the good side. Next thing that we need to do is to put them into the bodice. So we've got the armhole, move it up, we've got the armhole, and then we've got the curve of the sleeve. So they are going to need to match, which involves finding the centre. Oh, actually, I think this one has a pleat in the top. So we're going to start armpit to armpit, and then pin our way around until we get to the middle. Did you see that? Again, armpit to armpit. Pin. And then using the curves of the fabric, just lining them up together and pinning it as we go to make sure that we get a nice fit into the arm. It can feel really counterintuitive sometimes when you've got the wrong shape going into the wrong shape. And for those of you that are seasoned pros at sewing will know exactly what I mean. And yet somehow this absolute witchcraft that is sewing comes together and makes perfect sense. It's baffling. It's almost like, I'll tell you which one I really never understand is the trouser leg inside a trouser leg when you're trying to do up a crotch. And it just works. It just somehow, it makes so much sense that the good side and the good side go together and then you sew up the seam, but it shouldn't work is what I'm getting at. It shouldn't work, but it does. So we've got to the top and we've got a bit of a bag. So it's suggested that we put a little pleat in here. So I am actually going to do a fold or just fiddle about with it until I feel comfortable. Come on, guys. Let's get it together. So if we put them both together like that and then push this bit down, then that will all sit in nicely. Trust me, it's going to be great, guys. It's going to be great. If I put a pin in there, is that going to fall out? I'll put another one in just to be on the safe side. So that's our arm in. I just need to go to the machine and sew it in and then do the same on the other side. So we have the sleeves set in now, and what we're going to do is, well, turning it inside out, we are going to sew the sleeve and the side together. So let me put it the right way around. So as to save confusion. So on each side, we're gonna match up the wrists, sew along the side, and then matching the armpits and the sides together, sew down there as well. Now. And here we have the top half of the dress. We've got a nice neckline, we've got elasticated sleeves, and around the back we've got space for buttons and for buttonholes. So tomorrow I'm going to be doing the second part of the dress where I'll show you how to do the buttonholes and how to gather the skirt and attach it on. So I'll see you tomorrow. Bye guys!